AITA for making my boyfriend homeless? Throwaway because they browse Reddit often. F22. Live with my boyfriend. M24. In a 2-bedroom apartment. I pay the rent, but the apartment is actually owned by my parents. Which is why I can afford it, because they charge me 30% of market rate. I also pay utilities and other small bills. My parents are extremely house-proud plus frugal. So for a university student, I like to keep it tidy, tastefully decorated, well-stocked, etc., because that is how I was raised. My mom literally beams when she sees my place. And I kinda like that feeling. Lol. The issue is that my boyfriend, who recently moved in because his place has issues with damp, is turning my place into a swamp. It's been 4 months and I am losing my mind. He pees around the toilet and doesn't clean up. He leaves dishes in hallways. He lets the trash pile up until it overflows. He leaves muddy footprints all over the house and on the bed. Every possible mess you can think of, he manages to create it. The first 2 months, I really tried to keep the peace by compromising, telling myself I'm the person who needs it super clean, so I'm the one who has to be the super cleaner. But that just bred resentment and anger in me. The bigger problem is that my parents are visiting soon. By soon, I mean literally next Wednesday. I've asked him to clean before WED for the last 2 weeks. But he's ignored me each time. Each time, he finds a new excuse to delay it 1 more day. If they find out how trashed the house is, I'll lose my privileges and their trust. And if they find out he's created about $2,000 in damage since he's been here, I'm double screwed because money wasting and messiness are their 2 pain points. So I bit the bullet today and told my BF he has to move out by Wednesday. And that I don't want him to clean anymore because I'll do it myself, plus with the help of a cleaner. Reddit. He flipped. Called me controlling, uptight, financially abusive and evil, because I hired the cleaner so silently and I guess malevolently? I think he expected me to warn him and beg before booking someone. My friends, some, not all, and his friends are siding with him because they don't know how bad the house really is. They've kinda implied that I'm throwing him under the bus to chase validation from my parents. And to keep my gravy train rolling. Now I'm wondering if that's true because I told him to leave by Wednesday, which is when they arrive. If it was really about me, didn't I have 4 months to draw the line? Because I can't tell if I'm enforcing my own boundaries or my parents'. AITA? Edit. This is the only edit I will add. He has a flat that has since been damp-proofed, but he doesn't want to go back because his flatmates do not want him back under any circumstances. He has no home, but he has a place to sleep, if that makes sense. Also, I don't mind the lack of rent or utilities. That would have to be paid regardless if I had 2 boyfriends or none. This is purely about cleanliness. Thank you for reading and I apologize for not being clearer. Let's assume you are kicking him out only to keep your gravy train going. So what? That doesn't make Utah. The cost of the gravy train is the 30% of market rent. And maintaining the property in a condition acceptable to your parents. You are absolutely NTA for paying in the price for that gravy train. The fact your, hopefully ex-BF isn't mature enough to pay the ticket price to the gravy train and his. And your friends aren't smart enough to see that is just sad. NTA. He has no respect for you or the generosity of your family. Sounds like a freeloader who isn't worth your time. If he can't respect your home, he's never going to respect you. Move on. Just be glad you're not married and that it's not technically his home too. He did you a favor by showing his cards. Sounds like you can do better. NTA. You've been drawing the line for weeks, months. NTA. Get rid of him, he sounds like a waste of space. Nothing wrong with keeping your house clean and being happy to do so. Whether a value you have for your parents or because of your parents. Being in a well-kept environment is good for you. Bin him, like the trash he's created, and move on. NTA. He doesn't want a girlfriend. He wants a maid, cook, sex toy who provides free housing and takes all responsibility for taking care of him while needing nothing. He's a grown-ass man and can't pee in a toilet. Just know. Be glad you didn't have kids with him, because he will never ever be a partner. Good God. Break up with him and send up some praises to God or the universe that you found out a needy little baby and a massive jerk before you were more committed. NTA. At all. No wonder his flatmates don't want him back. He sounds like a pig, and ungrateful to boot. Stick to your guns, sister. You don't owe him squat, and he is responsible for his own situation. NTA. And dang. You need some new friends. Look. A huge part of cohabitation is determining whether you can actually live with a person in a long-term committed relationship. That's kind of the main point of moving in with someone. No? Upon moving in, you unfortunately have discovered that your BF is a slob who has no respect for his living space or the work required to maintain it. Nor does he take responsibility in keeping his own home livable. All he does is create extra work for you and doesn't help out in the slightest. And the longer you live with him, the worse it will get. Emo. You should both boot him out and end the relationship. And while yes, your parents' visit may be expediting this decision, that doesn't mean it's the wrong one. Sometimes one needs a fire lit under one's ass to do what they need to do. So tell BF that his gravy train is at the end of the line. And next time find yourself a man who can not just wipe up his own pee dribbles, but wash dishes and run a vacuum without complaint. 2. NTA. BF needs to be gone. NTA. Girl, I feel you so hard. I am super freaking clean. I need my environment to be neat, tidy, good smelling, and sanitary. I grew up in a hoarder-like situation, so now I need my surroundings clean. I can't stand people who don't pick up after themselves. It's not hard at all. There is no excuse aside from mental illness. It's pure laziness and lack of respect for themselves and anyone else. You will never be the asshole for asking your BF to go home, instead of trashing up your apartment by making all those excuses and putting it off. He is showing he really does not care about how it affects you, and that he has no respect for you or your home. You are being generous letting him stay there at your expense. And it's not like you are making him homeless by telling him to leave. He literally has his own apartment. That's his fault and problem that his roommates don't want him. I cannot imagine how much of a mess he has made that you needed to hire someone to help you clean. I wish I could help you. He pisses around the toilet and doesn't clean it up. He tracks muddy shoes onto bed. The rest of the post wasn't needed for me to believe you were justified in kicking his ass out. It only added more damning evidence. Honestly, why are you dating a slob? Like I am a messy person, but never in 1,000 years would I ever do that. NTA. NTA. Gee, I wonder why his roommates don't want him back? There are a lot of red flags here. Unlike a fine wine, he won't improve with time. Dump him like yesterday's trash. NTA. Just throw the whole BF away. NTA. He doesn't respect you or your property. $2,000 of damage in 4 months? I didn't even know that was possible. You asked him nicely so many times. Get rid of him. He is not a partner to you. You are his mother, maid, landlord, doormat. He won't change. If I was a guest in someone's house, you bet your ass I would be trying to keep their home clean and trying to be helpful and respectful. You do not owe him housing. He is not your responsibility. He does not care about your comfort. He is ungrateful. He is entitled. He sucks. Kick him out and dump him. NTA. Take some photos of his messes and send them to the friend groups and say, we'll both be homeless. If my landlords see it looking like this. I've asked him to do his rightful share for 4 months. His old roommates don't want him back due to the amount of mess he makes. If you want to take him in, feel free. Are his friends siding with him against the other roommates? Too? You really don't need this type of person in your life. He's such a slob that no one wants to live with. Stick to your guns and change the locks if you have to. NTA. NTA. Run as fast as you can. Also, I hope he hasn't paid you any rent, so he's excluded from tenancy protection laws. NTA. You're better off without him. No wonder his flatmates don't want him back. NTA. NTA. By being lazy, careless and filthy, he made himself homeless. He is an adult. You are not required to take care of him. NTA. He's a disgusting pig. And it's fine that it is partly about what your parents will think. As parents have done for 200,000 years. They are helping you as you move into adulthood and providing you with cheap housing. It is completely fine that you respect them enough to not throw their generosity in their faces by trashing the place. He is irresponsible and immature. You told him he needed to clean up and he did not. It's your place. Out the door he goes. FYI. The vast majority of people find peeing anywhere except the toilet. Overflowing garbage. Garbage in the halls. And mud on the floor is unacceptable. You are not being unreasonable to expect him to not do that.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.